Right, well, another day's tipping ahead, and it's been quite hard work so far. You do get the feeling at last that it's beginning to settle down a little bit, and we are getting some idea of what we're going to get from the sides in the Premier League. Although some really, really funny results, haven't we? Probably good to see West Ham win their first game of the season. That was he's been under a little bit of pressure, obviously. There's been one or two casualties already, so they will be my first game, in fact, West Ham against Spurs. Another real tough game in prospect for West Ham. Spurs obviously have been going well. It's a big game really for both clubs. Spurs is the sort of game that they need to win if they're going to get into those Champions League spots and push the top sides. And obviously West Ham, they'll want to carry on from where they left off and be thankful that they're at home, so they won't want to lose this one, especially with it being a local derby, London derby, so to speak. But I'm going to go for Spurs to win this, and I'm going to go for Spurs to win this 2-1, which is 8-1. So Spurs to win 2-1. I think it'll just be that little bit too strong. Big, wide open surfaces at the Olympic Stadium. Okay, we move on to Burnley against Huddersfield. Another Saturday game. Both these sides have had quite reasonable starts. I mean, it's great to see them both in the Premiership. One's a little bit more experienced than the other, but as I said, both have had great starts and both have got plenty to work on. So in this one, and because of that, I'm going to go for Burnley and Huddersfield to be a score draw. So Burnley and Huddersfield, I think both sides have shown that they're more than capable. Burnley, especially being at home, not too far for Huddersfield to go, just along the M62. So I'm going to go for a score draw in this one at 7-2. Right, how about this for a bet then? Man City against Palace. I mean, Man City, long odds on. Thought, I'll tell you what, let's do Man City and Aguero. That comes back at 8-15, believe it or not. Okay, let's try and find another way into this game then. So Man City against Palace. How about this one then? Man City against Palace. Both team a goal in both halves. I'll get that out in a minute. So a goal in both halves. Aguero to score and Man City to win. So Man City to win and Aguero to score was 8-15. Okay, Man City to win, Aguero to score, and a goal in both halves, which you've got to say is pretty likely, brings that back into 7-5. Sorry, back out to 7-5, which is a respectable bet. Obviously, Man City on their own, Aguero and Man City 8-15 is not a bet. But Man City, Aguero, and a goal in both halves, which I would imagine is highly likely, takes it from 8-15 to 7-5, which all of a sudden for me becomes a bet. And there's plenty of interest in a bet like that. So it's always good to look around and see if you can really manipulate exactly what you want and see who's offering what, and you can actually work out a price yourself almost. So 7-5 for Man City, Aguero, and a goal in both halves. Okay, move on to Leicester against Liverpool. Obviously, Leicester had a fantastic result in the cup against Liverpool. He's becoming synonymous with those sorts of results. Klopp, unfortunately, Liverpool seem to struggle every time they tend to play in these cup games. I think it was last year, wasn't it? It was Exeter, wasn't it? They struggled before in games like that. So obviously Leicester are a different kettle of fish, and maybe Leicester beating Liverpool is certainly not the upset that we've seen in the past where Liverpool have been involved in. But I'm going to go for, with it being the league, and I think we're obviously going to get plenty of chances in this game. We're going to get plenty of goals, there's no doubt about that. Certainly the way that Liverpool defend and certainly the way that Liverpool go forward. There doesn't seem to be too much change this season with regard to that. So I'm going to go for both teams to score, which is 4-6. And then I'm going to have a little bit of a fun bet on this one. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw at 14-1. So a 2-2 draw at 14-1, Liverpool-Leicester. Both teams to score, which is probably a certainty in this at 4-6. Last bet will be the Sunday football. That's Brighton against Newcastle. I was down at Swansea last week to see Newcastle play, and they did okay. Didn't pull up any trees, but they were well organised. They defended well. When they believed in the game that they could get something out of it, they weren't bad. And in the end, were winners in a very tight contest. So I'm going to go Brighton against Newcastle. With that in mind, I think Newcastle play pretty much the same. I'm going to go for Brighton 1, Newcastle 1. Not a lot between these two sides, and that gives me a total of 11-2. Both teams to score in this game is 9-10. So both teams to score is my bet at 9-10, although neither side have been, shall we say, free scoring. And then I'm going to go for a 1-all in this at 11-2. Right, we'll finish off with the treble. And the treble is Luton, Charlton and Barnet, all been in decent recent form. So Luton, Charlton and Barnet, all at home. And the treble comes out at 4-1. So that'll be my bets for this weekend. Good luck to everyone. As I say, if there is something you fancy and you can manipulate it around, go to your bookmaker and ask if he can sort you out. Good luck to everyone. Have a good weekend.